The Cigar Nerds Podcast.
And welcome to Cigar Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe.
And I'm your occasional fill-in co-host, Ginger Adventure.
Yes, we are back. Cue the Where in the World is Brad Jackson.
You can find the Carmen Sandiego music for that.
I've already got that.
Oh.
Remember, last year when he was on the road a lot, I, made a whole intro for the segment where I'd say, where he was each week when he wasn't here.
Okay, I must have missed an episode or two. Shame to admit that, but you know.
So, this week, I am smoking the H. Upmann Añejo. This sports a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper over Connecticut broadleaf,
Buffering.
Yeah, I completely lost my notes here. With a filler of Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Honduran tobaccos. I believe these are all aged as well, hence the name Añejo.
I didn't know that. That's what it means? That's what Añejo means?
Yeah, if you pick up a tequila or a rum and it says Añejo, usually it's aged a certain amount of time.
Shit, you learn something every day. See, that's why y'all should pay attention. You get education here. I get an education, and I'm old.
Most of the time, I'm just pulling facts out of my ass.
Yeah, well, you're gifted like that.
Hence why if you watch the video version, there's always a computer in front of me because I actually look shit up when we're talking.
I look it up beforehand. Maybe. Some of it.
Yeah, we've gotten lazier as we've gone on because back in the day, me and Brad both had our computers out and we're very prepared. Now it's when Brad shows up, he's like, I'll just use my cell phone if I need to look anything up.
Well, I mean, you can get the same information, but I'm just usually I don't know if I'm filling in till a day or two before, so there's not a whole lot of time for research.
I mean, yes, you can get the same amount of information on your cell phone. It just looks more professional if you're pulling it off a computer and
we're going for professional here. Was that the plan?
I'm a man wearing a fancy smoking jacket.
You're welcome.
Ooze professionality.
You're welcome. You're welcome, because I think I came up with that fancy smoking jacket. But it does look good on you, I'll give you that.
So yeah, this week, since this is kind of the final episode of February, we're going to talk, I guess you'd call it Valentine's movies.
Sort of.
But not being one who goes into to sit around to watch some romantic
that's true.
Valentine's movies. We're going to talk about a couple Valentine's action movies that both came out this month. We're going to be talking about LoveHurts, and we're also going to be talking about, if we run out of things to say about LoveHurts, Back in Action. Two kind of couples
same
with
genre, different, yeah.
Past that come back to haunt them. And if you've got to fight off ninja assassins, you should call in the Strike Force. StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use your promo code Cigar Nerds for 20% off your order.
You should call in the Strike Force anyway. You should always call in the Strike Force. Just have them on backup. On standby, I think.
That's pretty much primarily what I run on. Nicotine, caffeine, and hate. Yeah.
That's why we work so well together, dear.
But with that, we'll be right back with the main show. And welcome back. It's time to get...
Hurt?
Yeah, that's better than anything I was about to say.
And I'm just freestyling it on coffee. Nicotine. Anyway.
So yeah, this Valentine's season, we got a couple unconventional love stories.
I can agree with that. I mean, there was a couple of unconventional, yeah.
Before we get into it, I mean, do you have any other good unconventional Valentine movies to recommend to the people?
Unconventional Valentine?
Not your typical lovey-dovey, girly movies.
No, I would have to think about that.
Because most action movies are...
there's usually a romance subplot somewhere in there.
There's the old cliche of the damsel in distress.
Ugh. Unless you're talking about Bond, and then it's not usually a romantic line. Usually it's a lust-filled want to get in your knickers kind of thing.
Knickers.
I know. James Bond is British. It makes sense.
He's actually Scottish.
Huh? I didn't know that. Okay, I'm lost. All right, cool. I didn't know that. I thought James Bond was English. No, he's not. He's English. He's English.
He works for the British government. But it was Sean Connery was the OG Bond. I think in the books he is like from Scotland.
Well, fuck me in the ass. I don't know.
I'm an idiot. I may be completely wrong. It's been a while since I've read the books.
That, like I said, you learn something new every day. You learn all kind of new shit watching this.
Speaking of which, and tangent, because that's what we do around here.
Yup.
I heard of a new movie. I think it's available on Prime. Need to check out. It was highly recommended. It's called Sunray Fallen Soldier.
Sunray Fallen Soldier?
Yes, but it's about a retired British Royal Command. The whole Bond thing, right? It's a British Royal Commando. Mm-hmm. Like, basically English Special Forces dudes.
Okay.
Whose daughter gets killed by, like, a drug cartel or something, and he calls all his old buddies back, and these retired, fucking commandos go fuck up the cartels. Anybody I know in it? Here's the thing. The British commandos are actually British commandos.
Oh, hell.
So all the gunfighting and tactics and shit are supposed to be, like, super, like, on point, real and shit.
Boy, that's
I mean, they're actors now, but the guys that got to play the commandos were former British commandos.
That's really going to be right up your alley, because they'll actually handle guns the right way, and you won't get the ick. Because that is definitely one of your icks, handling guns the wrong way.
And bad police work. That's the other thing that'll take me out of.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, say, like, the other guys, where it's ridiculous enough going in that I'm like, I understand they're doing this for comedic effect.
You mean like the solo guy and then the police force gets involved and they bumble and fuck everything up?
Like when it's clear that this is like I used to like NCIS, and I'm like, this is ridiculous enough that I don't mind like bad police procedure, but if it's somewhere where they're trying to accurately portray law enforcement and they're doing it wrong, that annoys the piss out of me, and just completely. And
well, maybe you need to go become an advisor, dear. You go be a gun and police protocol advisor. This is why I haven't watched The Rookie yet. No, well, we don't have the right streaming service for that, for one, but for two, I can't watch The Rookie without you dissecting it the whole time I'm watching it. So,
It's like watching a House with someone with any kind of medical experience.
Well, I don't do that.
That would have fucking killed somebody.
I don't do that on purpose because, I intentionally don't do that. Like watching Bones, I can do that as long as there's not anybody with any actual forensic knowledge in the room, and then I can watch it and enjoy it and not have to worry about it.
Bones is another one that I liked that was ridiculous enough that I'm like, yeah, this is all bullshit, so I can kind of just enjoy it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was
occasionally I do something dumb that I'm like, what the fuck was that?
It was loosely based on a real person. How's your war wound? Did you like that thing upside down this time, or did you just retire that lighter to somewhere safer?
Well, that's like foreshadowing, because we recorded the show out of order, so if you're listening you'll hear me burn myself later on during the science segment.
Bad, Amanda. Bad, Amanda. You stupid bad thing.
You're ruining the mystery. We didn't film all this in order. You need a
stick so you can like tap me on the forehead when I do something stupid. We'll get you a yardstick so you can reach over here like, hey, stupid, shut up.
Oh no, that's the going back and editing some of these video shows where it's like, there's the times where you say something dumb and I just stare at you and wait to see if you realize it. I finally saw that reaction when I was editing one of like the previous videos. I was like, oh, that's the look I give her.
I haven't seen. You didn't point this out to me. I'd like to see this look, please.
I don't even. I think it was, you started talking about the Transformers or something like out of nowhere in the middle of a topic that we're several episodes. I don't remember what it was, but you said something. I'm just kind of like, I just stared for a minute.
Like I said, Ritalin would probably be a good thing, but we're just gonna keep what's it called? Dry humping it with no medication. No, or not dry humping it. What is it?
Raw dogging.
Raw dogging. Thank you. I give up.
Dry humping.
What is this same fucking thing.
Oh, we've not even started drinking yet, and this show's already off the rails.
I decided coffee would probably be a better idea than tequila. It was going to be tequila because I was very funny the last show, but then I also almost choked to death, so we had to stop. So I figured coffee's a better plan, but I've had so much coffee. So much coffee.
Yeah, I'm on about my third monster for the day, but I'm just kind of even. I
Yeah,
guess.
but you had a long weekend.
I didn't sleep enough. So anyway, we got. We'll start with talking about Love Hurts, directed by Jonathan Usbayo. I'm probably completely pronouncing that wrong, and starring, and I know I'm pronouncing this wrong. Is it Ki Hu Kwan?
Ki Kwan, from what I understand, but I could be butchering it.
Yeah.
See, this is that prepared and like professional thing. It's like we look up the phonetic pronunciation. Fuck it, we're gonna raw dog like you said.
Well, that's
raw
what
dog
he's
it.
like. He
What?
changed his name when he came back to acting. When he was like a kid actor, he had a different name.
Well, yeah, it was something more
then
Americanized.
So when he, kind of, because anyone who doesn't know,
because we were fascists and we didn't like non-American sounding names.
Quan is the kid from Goonies and Indiana Jones, and then he just basically...
It's Dr. Jones. I can't do an accent. I know better.
Retired from acting and went on to do other things, and then miraculously got back into acting, and I think Everything Everywhere All at Once was his first big movie back, and he gets a fucking Oscar for it. So it's talk about a triumphant return after years off of doing whatever he was doing, just come back and just
well, I don't even think they considered kids for big accolades back in
But it's
because he should have gotten one for Indiana Jones. I mean, that would have been a supporting actor win, I would think. But I don't know if Indiana Jones ever got awards. I'm sure it did.
I don't think I Oscars, but yeah. Action movies don't usually get
Oscars.
Oscars, yeah. Oxfords either.
Oxfords?
Yeah.
Isn't that a type of shoe?
No, well, it can be. It's also a type of shirt.
And a college, but yeah, we're
it's
getting
the ones with the little alligators on them.
That's an Oxford?
Yeah, it's like polo shirts with the alligators. Those are Oxfords.
Oh, okay, cool. Congratulations, kids. We're giving you all kinds of new information. I don't know how much of it's useful, but there's some.
Well, there's nothing I ever say that is useful.
I can vouch for that. You're welcome.
That reminds me, I got some YouTube videos I got to do. There was a request on one of my videos.
Uh-oh. Is this going to humiliate me, or is this going to humiliate you?
Oh, no, I did one of my Canic videos. Someone was asking to see what was in the little Canic toolbox. I showed them the little gun, but I never opened it up and showed what all was in it. So
okay, well, yeah, that makes sense.
I need to do a video on on that.
It's not like, why is your rifle case bigger than your wife? Shout out to the Kings of Camo, because that,
Yeah, I never win anything, and I actually won a big ass rifle case from Banger Overland.
And by big ass, he means literally I could just scoot down a little bit and hide behind the motherfucker, because...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a picture on our Instagram if you want to see a size comparison. It
Shrimpy little
looks
ginger.
like a rifle case with a head on the top.
It might be a discombobulated head, or discombobulated. Holy fuck. Severed head, because I might have gotten in trouble. I do something stupid all the time. It might have been me.
Discombobulated.
Discombobulated. No, I was looking for whatever the...
Detached.
Not detached, but not disemboweled, but there. I know there's a word that I'm looking... I have a very big vocabulary. Don't look at me like that. Large vocabulary and ADHD, and then lots of coffee, and now it's like, wow.
Was that from Princess Bride? I don't think that word means what you think it means.
That was in Princess Bride?
I'm pretty
what was the word?
I don't... inconceivable.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Mr. Vincenzi. Vincenzi. Vincini. That was it, Vincini. Oh, fuck. We're going down the dark hole today. It's not... We're going down the dark hole today.
Battle of wits with a Sicilian when death is on the line.
At this point, getting into a battle of wits with anybody would be a mistake, because I apparently can't speak.
But yeah, I said, since he has returned to acting, he's been huge. As I said, fucking Oscar right out of the gate, and then he was in season 2 of Loki, and now he's got this Love Hurts movie, which is another big...
That is a quick progression from
action fun movie. I think he is definitely kind of on his way to being the
Next Jackie Chan.
Yes, I mean he's in his 50s, but Jackie's like still in his 70s. So, and he still working. So
He could be working forever.
Dude's in pretty good shape at 50. So I could say he could definitely fill in some of these Jackie Chan style roles for the next couple decades at least.
I mean, we didn't really have anybody else. You had Jet Li there for a little while, but he went with more serious movies, and Jackie Chan was into doing comedies, which is not something you see a whole lot of if we're talking about martial arts actors.
Either it's a very serious action martial arts movie, or it's that, like I said, that combining action and comedy that Jackie does so well. And
like Steven Seagal never did anything funny. All his martial arts action movies were action movies. He didn't do funny.
Fuck, I can't remember the name of it right now. I believe it's on Netflix. Jackie Chan did a serious movie.
Well, Jackie Chan's done several, I think. Okay, I could be wrong.
I mean, this is recently where he's like on a vengeance kick, and there's no jokes in this movie. It's just Jackie being violent, and I'm like, it is badass.
Well, there's always been a hole for that. There's been a hole that needed that anyway.
Him versus James Bond.
Daniel Craig?
No, previous.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yes, him versus Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan's not really in the kind of shape for. Well, I wouldn't think. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
Basically, Jackie's daughter gets killed in an IRA bombing.
Okay.
And he's like a former IRA guy that's now like basically a politician over in England and some shit, and he's trying to find the identity of the people responsible for the bombing, so he just basically
I have to see that. That might be
keeps
good.
going after this guy until he gives up,
I mean, Jet Li did the one like with Aaliyah, and that was pretty funny, although I can't remember the name of it now.
He did a series of those. It was like Rumble in the Bronx and
what was the name of
Romeo Must Die.
Romeo Must Die. I mean, there was some comedy in that, but it was still a pretty action heavy. And then, of course, we all know what happened to Aaliyah, and we always miss her. So, but from what I understand, he took that pretty hard. So,
but yeah. Anyway, back to LoveHurts. Kind of the story of this is we see this very vanilla real estate.
Stepford is what you're looking for. The word you're looking for is Stepford. The man was a robot. Happy and perky all the time. Just creepy.
Yeah, like successful real estate guy. Turns out he's got a dark past.
Ooh.
Where he used to have a mustache.
Oh, the mustache was so bad. It was so bad. But they did making the fun of it was pretty good. Putting it up on all those little real estate signs. But the mustache was so bad. But he had all his little folded clothes and all his little stuff in his places, and he was just Stepford as hell.
Yeah, very OCD.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm going to bring cookies to the office for Valentine's Day because I'm a good boss. It was just weird.
Yeah, Marvin Gable is the character's name. But yeah, turns out he's a former enforcer / assassin for some kind of Chinese mafia, which is led by his brother apparently, and he.
Well, I think it was like his father led it, and then the boys took it over, and then he left.
Yeah, so his last mission was to eliminate this girl that had supposedly stole money from the organization, but he was secretly in love with her, so he basically faked her death and let her go, and then he retired and became a real estate agent. But
I'm gonna run away and sell real estate. That's what I'm gonna do.
But then she starts sending notes to her former little Valentines, admitting she's alive and kind of teasing her former organization. So they come after him.
She made them homemade. They were homemade and arts and crafty, and that was cute. Like very cute.
Find out where she is. So now he's got to his new life crashes with his old life, and he's like still trying to sell this house while everybody and their brothers trying to kill him.
Yep. Got to get that sale, man. You got to get that. The real estate world is competitive. Didn't you see? His competitor had the house right next door. The fucking goofy looking motherfucker.
Well, that's the funny part, and I can't remember his name, but he's got this rival real estate agent that's he shows down the street and all the real estate signs are either him or the other guy, and the other guy's like, very much like, I'm gonna find you a kicking deal. It's like, I'm a black belt,
Mm-hmm.
and thinks he's like, and it's
I am the martial artist king of real estate and land development. I don't know. It was.
And I don't remember which one is which, but it's one of the Property Brothers. It is a real real estate guy.
Yeah. Oh God. I can't remember which one.
But it was hilarious that they got him to play
he did
like
pretty
the.
good. I mean, I know the Property Brothers was also rehearsed and all that, but he did pretty good for somebody that's never done a movie.
Well, it's like you spend enough time on camera, even if you're playing yourself, that you get kind of comfortable being on camera. And he's like, "Hey, we want you to play a real estate guy." Huh? Okay.
Okay, I can do that. Hold on, I got to do some studying and I got to figure out some method acting. No,
That's like somebody coming to me is like, "Hey, we need you to play an asshole podcaster in this movie." I'd be like, "Sweet."
Hey, can you talk about cigars and ninja shit for a little while? Yeah, I guess I can. I don't know what mine would be. More like, hey, can you talk about how disappointed you are in the world of customer service? And yeah, I got that. I can go on about that for hours. No problem.
Oh.
We all have our special areas of expertise.
But speaking of guest stars, of all the people that are hunting him, there's a pair of guys.
Oh my God, they were so funny. If you ever want to talk about heterosexual life mates, that's what that was. They y'all have been riding together too long. I think this is why at some point, police organizations and whatever else split people up because y'all been together too long.
Yeah, it's King and might have been Otis.
I think so.
Was the other one? Oh, yeah, they're the.
You gotta have the pair of bumbling idiots. Home Alone, fucking Rocksteady and Bebop. You gotta have those pair of bumbling idiots that barely or don't even seem like they should survive, but they barely survive somehow.
But King is played by former NFL player Marshawn Lynch,
He was
a.k.a.
funny.
Beast Mode.
He was funny.
Which he even gets to do his catchphrase at one point where he's fighting Quan. He's like, Beast Mode! As he tackles him.
And the whole time they're just talking about the other dude's relationship. It's like, yeah, you need to call her and you need to talk to her and you need to work this out.
Yeah, the other guy's wife or girlfriend or whatever was leaving because he was emotionally constipated.
Yep.
That was he's like, you got to get some of that emotional X-Lax in you, man. And
emotional X-Lax. There's a whole other market. I'm going to develop emotional X-Lax, and there's a whole other market for that shit.
But then the first killer that comes after him to he's walks into his office during the Valentine's party and goes into the office and all of a sudden gets his ass kicked and wakes up hand pinned to the desk by knife, and homeboy is the Raven, who's this
mysterious and
knife
spooky
fighting hitman who's.
Did you see how many knives he pulled from that fucking coat though? I mean, that thing had to weigh 100 pounds. He was
he opens the coat, it's all knife, and then he has the gauntlets on that he can
yep.
Attach
the blade with his shoe. That was pretty
Reaper
sweet.
blades that comes out of his shoe,
that
which was
pretty
sweet. But yeah, he's
that man was actually 5 inches shorter. They're just blades stacked up under his shoes.
Wannabe poet.
Oh, yeah.
And he beats the fuck out and knocks him out, and you think he's dead, and then he just do not disturb out of the office sign, and then his assistant finds him later and starts reading his poetry and falls in.
Well, she was having her own little existential crisis. She was stuck in life and didn't know where she was going, and blah 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 blah.
And then he wakes up and he's like, "No one's ever understood my poetry." And it's they have a whole love
they
connection
had the
while she's still
cutest little relationship.
While he's still trying to kill her boss.
Completely fucked up, but they had the cutest little relationship. I don't actually have a social security number or real name, so we can't get married. But they're just the cutest little thing. She was sarcastic and bitter like me. Maybe that's why I relate.
Yeah, and her trying to still help her boss by please don't kill him. He's the first guy I've ever loved.
We
and
have a connection. And
he's my boss. You can't kill him.
You two sit down and behave. We're gonna work this out when I get done signing over these mortgage papers for these people. That was funny.
Yeah, but basically, homeboy's brother, his right hand man, is a
douchebag.
He's the one who actually stole the money with the girl, and then basically got the money back just to frame her, and only returned.
If you show up at a car with $1 million and you have no way to account for where it came from, of course your boss.
But basically got her to steal 4, and then found 2, and was like, "Hey, she only stole $2 million so they could like pocket the shit. So now that she's back from the dead, they're like, if he finds out what we actually did, we're all fucked. So he's
Which is your first clue that this movie's messed up, because these people are Asian. Asian people are usually really good at numbers. How do you lose $4 million, only get 2 of it back, and not figure out there's still $2 million somewhere?
They weren't accountants. They were. The accountants was the fucking New Zealand guy.
Yeah, the accountant was in on it.
Kibby, that was played by comedian Rice Darby.
Kibby.
Who was, she was holding him in her trunk. Oh.
I have Kibby. With little Post-it notes.
And I took his finger.
Yep. Well, that's because everything was fingerprint scans, or was fingerprint load.
So yeah, she's like, how'd she put? She's like, surviving's not living, and like,
yep.
She's like, no, I'm like, I'm tired of being dead. Like, we've got to.
How are you dead?
This.
You're working at a bar in the same town as everybody else. You're like 20 minutes up the road at a bar.
Like, but it was in a different gang's territory.
Mm.
She's like, we're safe here. This is so and so's territory. Your guys would never come here.
Well, that'll work.
Because it turns out she's like,
also a badass or become badass assassin type chick, and
she was also like the or like an accountant,
money laundering expert, some shit.
Yeah. Oh no, she was the lawyer of the.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
group. And found out that they, when stealing the money, she found out her boss was basically embezzling shit from the Russians that they were working with. So this whole thing is like, we got to get all
everybody
this shit
has
together.
Screwed everybody over, and nobody can say anything because it goes all the way up.
And eventually, she returns to Knuckles, aka Daniel Wu, Marvin's brother.
Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin Gable.
And Marvin Gable. Alvin and Marvin.
Whose base is like in an old video store or something.
I think so. There was a couple of pinball machines and some videos.
I mean,
it was a Blockbuster. Don't lie. We know what that was.
I mean, it was pretty cool hangout.
It was an old school Blockbuster set in Chinatown.
But yeah, he finally gets that. All right, she's like, hiding's not living. You're surviving, but you're not thriving. He's like, you gotta bring him back. You see him like slowly coming back to being like the badass, and then finally realizing, oh, I can find balance.
I can do both. I can sell houses and kill motherfuckers in spare time.
Yeah, I can get that skill and personality back without having to be a murderous douchebag.
But I can still be a badass and also sell, real estate with a big
grow my
smile.
mustache back.
Ugh. That mustache was horrible. They were an interesting couple together. The two of them were weird together. It was it was funny, but it was that was a weird combination, but it seemed like it worked.
But yeah, when she goes back to kind of lures everybody back to the HQ, turns out Knuckles had already figured everything out and figured out that
his second in command
Merlot was the one who had actually done everything, offed his ass, and then
the writers didn't even try when it got to the names of everybody. We didn't even try. Merlot, Alvin and Marvin. But then, we didn't try.
His
Gibby.
brother, she turns herself in, hoping that Homeboy will finally admit that he's really in love with her and come save her, and he shows up to fight his brother, and of course she's also a badass. Turns out, and like they just have like him and her like just in that huge fucking fight with like all these mafia dudes and gunfights and kung fu and shit and
fucking tasers.
Just
fuck
tasing.
the tasers. Give me a sword or a gun, but you can fucking take that taser shit on somewhere else. But it was funny.
Oh, when she first like kidnaps him, he's like, back it up to like when he gets home from the office with his like regional
sales award, real estate sales award,
and he's all about the
salesman of the year.
He's like, this is like the proof that I can be normal. So he's like trying to protect it while he's getting his ass kicked by the two dudes in his house, and just the way they shot that, where the camera is sticking with the award while the fight is going on around it. Like one point, he gets thrown into the refrigerator, and then you see like the door open, and one of them get thrown in the refrigerator.
He throws the guy in the what was his name? The football player guy.
That was King.
Marshawn
Lynch
throws him in the fridge, and then wait, shit! I put the award in there.
Yeah, like the cinematography on that fight scene, I really enjoyed how they shot
it was
that.
funny.
It was unconventional.
Beating somebody's ass in your kitchen. I mean, if you weren't such a minimalist, you wouldn't have this problem. You want to beat somebody's ass, you got to be a maximalist and have shit on the walls and axes and spiked maces hanging everywhere.
Or big wooden spoons.
Apparently a big wooden... Well, that depends on how you were raised, because if you're a kid from our generation, a big wooden spoon's mighty scary still. It gives you a minute of apprehension.
Yeah, and it's like...
That's because parents used to beat their kids.
Oh, yeah, I had my grandparents had big wooden spoon, and that was, I think, like every house in the 80s had one of those big wooden spoons hanging up in the kitchen.
No, it wasn't.
And it's not like one you use. It's like the size of like a boat oar. It's purely decorative. Or my dad actually beat somebody's ass. He was my dad told me a story where he was like at a house party or something, and some dude like showed up to like and wanted to fight, and he like threw him out of the house, and the guy got up and was coming running back to like fight him, and there was just one of those wooden spoons on the wall, and he reached up and grabbed it and just busted the dude in the face right when he came to the door and knocked him out.
Every parent had that, or they had the fucking the actual paddle. I don't know if those came from like fraternities or what, but the actual wooden paddle, because they had one. My parents had one of those, and it was either that or a switch, or my mom attacked me with a mop and glow once, but I definitely had that one coming. I said something real inappropriate. Mop and glow doesn't taste good, just so you know. And if you're laying on the floor laughing, then you're going to get what's coming to you, because you should get up and run instead of lay there on the floor laughing. But I thought I was clever at the time. Mop and glow don't taste good.
But yeah, after he survives that fight, he just like walks out, and she's out there and tases his ass and kidnaps him.
I mean,
and he wakes up duct taped with like the mustache drawn on him.
I want to know whose idea that was. Who did the running gag of drawing a million different facial hairs for this man on all of his posters? And one of them looked like Hitler, and then he tried to wipe it off, and it looked even worse because now there's a blank white spot that still looks like Hitler.
Oh, and then
speaking of spoons, the fight with the big ass utensils that were hanging on the wall in that kitchen was funny as fuck. The big
yeah, we were just talking about that.
Oh.
We had that conversation 2 minutes ago.
I thought you were talking about your parents had a big-ass wooden spoon. I'm talking about the big-ass spoons that were in the kitchen on that fight scene. The spoon and fork that were hanging on the wall that made me terribly uncomfortable.
But yeah, that fight, he's like, I'm going to do one last thing before I leave. Like, I'm going to sell this house I've been trying to sell. So he's like trying to sell this house when like all the mafia guys show up to like kill him, and they're shooting the piss out of that. And
poor little lost couple was so ignorant and so naive, and like, this is great. Look at the washer and dryer. It's so wonderful. Dude, I had somebody tied up in here that had missing a finger. I don't know what happened.
And like as the house is getting like shot all to hell, he's like, don't worry, I got some guys that can fix all this. We'll patch it up for you. He's still trying to make
it's fine.
the deal.
We'll take care of it. We'll take care of the paint. No problem. It's going to look just like new.
Oh.
We'll get the blood up. No big deal.
But yeah, that fight in the in that house was fun.
Well, you got him and Raven fighting together for 1 minute. They're like, no, we're going to be on the same team because they're trying to kill us all for a minute. And then all of a sudden, oh, look, they're all down on the floor. Not dead, because only good guys died in this movie. The bad guys didn't die. They all lived.
Oh, yeah, speaking of the one death.
Oh, my God. It hurt my heart.
His mentor that got him into the real estate was Sean Astin. I was like, fuck yeah, Goonies.
Poor little Sean Astin.
Goonies reunion.
The only movie that man has ever done well in is The Hobbits and the Goonies. He came out on the bottom in everything else. He does Stranger Things. He looks up at Joyce and I lived. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
He goes to Marvin's house, and of course his brother shows up, and he's like, he's like, yeah, he's my brother and everything like that. And he's like, offers him a drink. And he's like, finally, realizes he's like, you're going to fucking kill me no matter what.
I'm not going to make it out of this thing. I might as well get a last drink.
I'm going to go ahead and have that drink and just, and homeboy who has a boba tea obsession, like, stabs him in the eye with a fucking boba straw. I was like, damn.
That's just wrong. It hurt my feelings.
But
I'm a Sean Astin supporter. It hurt my feelings to watch that.
But even the two, like, mafia guys, like, finally they fight Raven, and he pulls out his little swords and, like, slices them up. And then you see, like, post-credits, they're, like, all cut up, but they're still alive, and he's like, my wife called me, we're getting back together.
She wants me to come talk about it. All the good guys died because the dude that was the real estate guy, the actual real estate guy that was guest starring, he came over and started.
About to go. Yeah, like, he finally shows up because he sees like all
I'm
these...
a black belt. I'm going to go help. I'm going to kill all these motherfuckers. No, you're not.
Yeah, and he's like, come on, man, we can do this. I'll go high, you go low. And as soon as he stands up, he gets his head blown off. It's like,
Poor
damn,
thing.
dude.
Poor thing. You must be having some money trouble. Because I can't imagine that's good PR. But it was funny. And then the motherfucker stole Sean Astin's hat. I'm like, you fucking bastard. Take your boba tea and fuck off. But you ain't got to take his hat and leave that one little trail of blood down the front. You a cold motherfucker.
But yeah, Marvin finally beats his ass. But then turns out the whole thing was, she was like, yeah, I was trying to get everybody together because I
tipped off the Russians.
I tipped off the Russians. You'd been scamming them, so they're going to take care of you. And the
she
$2
was
million.
A woman. There was already another plan behind the plan on the second plan.
The
there
$2 million
already.
That we recovered was is my finder's fee for letting them know you've been ripping them off and shit. So we're finally free and do whatever. And so now she kind of owns the bar she was hiding out in. And
yep. But you never found out whether the couple took the house or not. I mean,
Yeah, we never saw if he got to finish that, but he does show back up, and he after all that stuff, he like finally tells her he loves her, and she's like, say it again and make me believe it. And she's like, motherfucker, I've known this whole time. I just been waiting for you to grow a set and say it.
See, this is why you got to have the balls to begin with. You just come out and say it before you got to go beat 16 people's ass to prove it. Just got to do it. Do it right.
But our other Valentine esque action film that came out this month, Back in Action, a Netflix original starring Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz.
Also a weird pairing, but it works so well. I loved that movie. That was also very weird casting, but it worked. I've
enjoyed Jamie Foxx as he's getting into his action dude era.
He's good at it.
Because he was like hilarious as a comedian, back in the day on like
all the SNL and Living Color and
was always like
what was that one where they went undercover as FBI people to play the white chicks or something?
That's not Jamie Foxx.
That was not.
No,
okay.
That's the Wayans brothers.
Oh, okay, other ones. What am I thinking of? There was another comedy movie. I can't think of it. Jamie Foxx was in, but
anyway. He was in that vampire movie too, Night Shift.
Oh yeah, that's
was it
right.
Day Shift?
Was it?
Yeah, it was Day Shift.
Okay,
I got that backward. But yeah, like he's gotten to this era of like,
he's versattle.
He's a freaking Oscar winner.
Man can sing, man can do comedy, man can do action.
It is unfair how talented he is.
Yes.
Like I've seen him like training with Taron and like he's good with guns. He's like a good singer and like good actor. I'm like the dude is like what did you call him, the Renaissance man? He's like skilled at everything.
What was it we said the last time? If you got time and money, you can get good at anything. Eventually.
True enough.
Time and money, you can be good at everything. You can look good forever.
Yes, but this has got kind of a similar plot where people's past come back to haunt them. Yeah.
Because they were both not spies exactly, but
they were CIA.
Assassins, spies, something in the middle.
Yeah, CIA. They were CIA knock operatives, which is non-official cover. Basically, you're people that don't exist.
Oh, okay.
So you're not like official, like going into the office every day. CIA people. You're the guys in the field doing
you're the ones we're going to claim no knowledge of if we get caught.
Yeah.
We're not going to acknowledge you. You don't exist.
So yeah, him and his partner, Matt and Emily, are basically trying to get this.
I don't know, some kind
device
of terrorist
that could basically control any electronic system.
Yeah.
And they're sent in to steal this from some, former Russian KBG terrorist stuff, and turns out, their cover as like husband and their
couple cover gets a little too real.
Yeah, and they find out, she's pregnant.
She's like, oh yeah, by the way, I can't have that champagne. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I can't have that. And then we're all excited, and then what's his name, or one of the guys sneaks onto the plane, and he's gonna kill them both. And
yeah, so they get the device, and then they're supposed to like supposed
rescue or
MI. Because they were somewhere like
the jealous boyfriend. That's what it was. It was.
But
the
he was supposed
other
to be
guy.
like an MI6 or
Yeah.
basically the
British equivalent.
British equivalent of CIA. They were helping them exfiltrate, on a plane, and then turns out like the flight crew's been taken over by terrorists trying to steal the device, and they escape, but the whole plane blows down, and they're like, "Hey, you're pregnant. We need to get out of this shit. So let's just no one has to know we survived this. So we're just going to
go start a regular life."
retire." And they actually get married for real and have that child and then a second child, and have been
very Mr. and
hiding
Mrs.
out
Smith,
in,
except they're actually they were truthful with each
Yeah.
other up front. They were honest about it all.
have 2 kids, Leo and Alice, and spend how old was the daughter? 15,
13,
16?
14,
So yeah,
14,
they've
15.
been out of the game for so long, and then they find out their daughter's lying to them and sneaking off with her boyfriend to some
To a
nightclub.
bar.
And,
Do you know what would happen if our 13-year-old ended up at a bar? That shit would not go. We have a 13-year-old. That kid was like 14 or 15, and she's at a bar getting served drinks. How the fuck does that even go down? I'm going to so-and-so's house to study. Hee hee.
So, unfortunately, they track the kid down to this nightclub, and boyfriend gets a little
Grabby.
and
Well, I don't think it was the boyfriend. It was the
one of the
buddies
they were all partying with their fake IDs try to start some shit, and Dad and Mom beat everybody's ass in the club, but unfortunately they get caught on cell phone
somebody
camera, and this becomes
grab Carly by the arm.
goes
and
viral.
It would go down that same way. I walk in somewhere and some boy's got his hands on my daughter and won't let her leave. Oh yes, that's gonna go well. And you're gonna have to jump in just to keep me from going to jail.
So yeah, they oh yeah, it is 15 years later. It's here in the notes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the video of them beating ass goes viral. There's like the kids have no idea that they're spies. They're like,
They're hiding something from us, but I don't know what it is.
it's like, Mom, like what? How the hell did y'all do that? And she's like, oh, I took a Tai Bo class, like a fitness kickboxing class at the.
What was it? The meme. I took this Tai Bo class behind the Walmart, and I don't know, something from TikTok or Facebook or one of those. It was some meme.
I don't know you. That's my purse.
No, this was something else. You've been talking some smack, and I just want to let you know I've been taking Tai Bo behind the Walmart.
Did you ever see that with King of the Hill?
Yes.
Where Bobby Hank's like needs to toughen him up, but he ends up signing him up for like a girls' self-defense
Yep.
class. So it's like, I don't know you. That's my purse.
That's my purse. No, try it again. That's my purse. I don't know you.
And just kicks everyone in the nuts.
Hey, I mean, it's effective. I know it's not considered honorable between men, but it's effective as shit. The idea is to win the fight. The idea is not to do it morally correct. The idea is to win.
But their former boss shows up and is like, the terrorists are coming for you because they think you still have the device. And they're like, we don't have the device.
We don't have the device? Well, she didn't have the device. She didn't know he did.
But he got, boss supposedly got shot as he's telling them, people are coming from him. And now, so they got to
hightail it to the school and go grab the kids and
get
end
the hell
up
out of there. And
fucking minivan that's barely holding together because it's been shot up so many times, and pull up at the parking lot and just grab the kids out of school. We got to go now. We had to go now.
But yeah, they he tells like, well, the device didn't get destroyed in the plane. I kept it for insurance just in case anyone ever
Don't lie to your wife. Don't ever lie to your wife. That's a problem.
But so they have to go. He's like, I left it with your mother, who apparently is like
Yep.
ex MI6, like badass James Bond lady.
Glenn Close.
Yeah, played
Of
by
course.
Glenn Close.
Her and her little chippy boyfriend, all of like 23 and wanting to go into the... I'm going to be an agent. This is what you got to know to be an agent. Bitch, you ain't nothing but the pool boy in a different outfit.
Old Baron. Or no, Baron was the guy that there was, the MI6 guy that was, they thought was the dirty cop, and turns out it was their boss was the, he was, the MI6 guy was just an asshole. It turned out that he wasn't like a...
He's just a jealous ex-boyfriend. That's all that was. He was just pissed off that Cameron Diaz said it was somebody else.
Their former boss was actually the bad guy that sold them out to the Belarusians.
Well, apparently he didn't make enough on salary. His salary wasn't high enough. He was upset about it. But that other guy, you were pretty sure from the beginning that he was a dirty agent. He's like, oh no, you're double crossing everybody because you're all pissed off and jealous because somebody else got your girl and you're mad about it. I'm like, no, you're just an asshole. Just an asshole. Anyway. But Mom was badass. I mean, did you see Mom's house was all rigged and ready to go, and
yeah, I was like, where's the hidden gun room? I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yep. Motion sensors and cameras and all kinds of shit. Mom's badass.
And Granny was pretty badass too.
That's what I'm talking about. Granny. Glenn Close's character. I don't remember what her name was. Character.
Oh, I was talking about when they left their house and they had the go bags and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get in the minivan like, oh, no, kids, we got to go. We're going to go to the airport. And then they're trying to hide from the cameras at the airport. And we just got to go. Because, of course, at this point, we're not telling the kids nothing. Then the kids are asleep on the plane like, is now the time? Do we tell them now? Like, maybe not, at 50,000 feet in the air. Maybe not.
Yeah, and they stop at some basically truck stop. And kid tries to use his cell phone to, like, or his, whatever, game system to, like,
connect to the internet and try to look up Mom and Dad and figure out what the fuck's going on.
And then they get bad guys show up and they end up torching some dude in the like, what the hell are you going, like, you just set somebody on fire. And they felt like, all right, yeah,
no, they're fine, don't worry about it.
We're spies.
We're spies. We retired so you guys could have a normal life, and we didn't tell you because which is not a good idea. I mean, if there's a chance somebody's going to come after you eventually, you might want to just give your kids a little head up. Hey, there's some stuff in the past, and if you see some creepy people, you might want to, forewarned is forearmed.
What's his name? Nigel. Grandma's boyfriend.
Oh, be a good boy and go do this for Mama.
I'm your grandpa, and they're like, no, you're not. But he's like, come to my office. This is where I play video games, and I got my nunchucks here and my throwing knives because I got to learn all the things so I can be an agent.
The kid is like a natural because the kid inherited all the genetic material to make him a badass, and then the guy has been practicing forever and can't do shit with it. Here, throw this. See what happens.
Oh, but of course the bad guys abduct the kids, and they got to sneak into the party and disrupt the sale of the device. Because
can we talk about the bald chick for a minute? Because the bald chick was kind of hot. She was kind of hot.
Which one was the bald chick? I forgot.
The boss's right hand chick that was doing all the tech stuff. She was handling all the tech and the bridges and.
Oh, the one he like knocks out and like Nigel tries to.
Yeah.
Tries to hack. He's like, I can do this.
I can hack this. No problem. It's like, no, you need your grandson, quote unquote, to take care of that because you can't handle it. Gives a lot of credence to the nature versus nurture because the kids are like, automatically great hackers. And
was it Wendy?
Wendy, maybe something like that. I don't remember what her name was. I don't remember who the actress was, but she was kind of hot though.
I don't know. It's been
a minute.
we saw the other movie more recently, so now it's like I've forgot that that character. Oh, Daphne was the tech assistant.
There you go, Daphne. She was hot.
So she hacks the power stations and basically is going to like open the barriers to flood all of London.
Which I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but that's a pretty faulty system if it is. But I don't have any idea if you can flood all of fucking London. Not with a push of a button anyway, but you might be able to. I've not been to that part of the world.
They get the sweet boat chase /
that was
fight
fucking
on the
awesome.
boat.
That was awesome. I love you. Hold your breath, and kicks the kid off the boat like Spartan stomps the kid. Here, go.
Yep, and then the boat crashes, killing the bad guys.
Boat explodes. It went splody.
But then you get them. They go back home and like oh yeah, we're going back to being just, average everyday.
Let's go to the soccer game with Grandma and her 23-year-old boyfriend. And
homeboy's like, I actually work for the MI6 now. She's like, yeah, in the IT department. Yes, dear, you're a spy.
That's like the pat on the head. Oh, it's so sweet. You're such a good boy.
But Grandma.
Glenn Close can have whoever she wants, so it's fine. Glenn Close can have whoever she wants. You've been a badass for that fucking long, and that kind of
It's like Helen Mirren. She's like one of those she's also an attractive older woman.
Yeah, also very
plays a badass well. Fucking her in the movie Red. Mm-hmm. She was badass in that movie.
Well, she was good in
the
one with Jason Statham too. And
the last couple Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, I didn't know that because I haven't watched the last couple of them. But she was in the Jason Statham one. She was the mother.
Yeah, and she also appeared
mother.
as her in the last Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh, okay.
Or the one before that, I think it was, yeah.
Are the chains really necessary? Well, when the prisoner stops trying to escape, we don't care if she's 78. She's like, if I wanted out of here, I'd be out of here. It ain't no problem. I'm just having a good time.
Oh.
Badass older ladies like Sigourney Weaver, and yes, you've been a badass so long. You can have a 23-year-old boyfriend all you want. We're not going to argue. We're not going to complain. This is just a fact.
Oh.
Be like the reverse of Leo DiCaprio. You can have a 20-year-old boyfriend. Absolutely. Honey, if you want 3 20-year-old boyfriends, you can have them. What? It's okay for a man to do it. It's not a problem when a man does it.
Is it still a cougar when they're in their 60s or 70s? Usually it's like a 40s.
Maybe that's like a snow leopard.
Snow leopard.
Well,
I don't know if that's a real term, but I love it.
It is now.
Yeah.
You're a snow leopard. You're hunting on the babies, but that's fine. It's not a G-MILF, but it's like a great G-MILF, which we're now going to call that. We are officially now calling all women, older badass women, snow leopards.
Snow leopards. Well, they call older dudes with gray hair, silver foxes. So I guess snow leopard is the
snow leopards are hunting baby foxes. They don't want silver foxes. They want baby foxes. There are some people, it does not matter how old they get. There are some people that it makes no difference what their age is. They will forever... Sean Connery. I don't care if that man is 103. Anything he wants. Anything.
Pierce Brosnan still...
Pierce Brosnan. There's another one.
Gray hair, gray beard. He's still...
He's still fucking sexy.
Still freaking Bond. That movie where they rob his son-in-law's bank. He was still pretty badass in that. The one they filmed here in Atlanta, because at one point they go to a cigar lounge, and I'm like, I know that cigar lounge. This looks like the Red Phone booth.
Oh, yeah, well, we know that pretty well.
Yeah. In fact, last time I went there, I had to sit in the James Bond seat. My ass is where Pierce Brosnan's ass was at one point.
But it's like you said, Helen Mirren, fucking Sigourney Weaver. Yes, ma'am. Whatever you want. I do not even care. I'm not going to complain about it. Official snow leopards.
But this was
It was a very funny,
for a Netflix
very cute
original.
movie. Yeah.
It was a good movie. The action sequences were on point, but it was also very funny and had its touching family moments as well.
They definitely committed to it, because didn't you show me videos like Cameron Diaz was training for gun training too, and her and Jamie Foxx. They were definitely committed. These are A-list actors.
Taryn's range, learning all the cool shit.
These were definitely A-list actors, and they committed to making this movie. And there's been a lot of Netflix movies that have come out.
Netflix has turned itself into like a real studio. Like these movies
Damsel
could have been
was a
released
Netflix
in
original, wasn't it?
What?
Damsel was a Netflix original, wasn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, these movies definitely could have been theatrical.
They're
definitely big enough. Gone are the days when they were making cheap direct-to-video style movies. Now it's like, oh no,
we have our own budget.
definitely
We have a full ass budget of our own. We can put whatever we want.
Be a full theatrical release.
Where people the A-listers would have been,
And I haven't heard if we're getting a sequel yet, but they definitely teased a sequel at the end, because homeboy from the MI6 shows up and he's like, dude, we told you we're retired, we're done. And he's like, well, I need to talk to you about your family. And he's like, well, go talk to Granny, she's here. She's like, actually, no, we need your father. And they're like, oh, we got
what? Who?
Your father's actually into some shit. So it's like now we've learned there's a whole nother.
Now we got to go fucking save Grandpa and his 20-year-old girlfriend. because, that's what we do. But yeah, Netflix has definitely become one of those, like, A-list celebrities would have said if you Netflix approached them and say, hey, will you do this movie? They would say, fuck you.
I mean, yeah,
now it's like, no, absolutely, I'll do it. You got the money, we can do this.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx has done a couple movies with him. I mean, Will Smith has had a couple movies with him. Like,
was Fall Guy a Netflix movie too? Or
no,
that was
theatrical.
actual.
But how was it? I can't remember it. The one where Will Smith is a cop and his partner is an orc. It's a world where like fantasy creatures exist in modern day LA, and like he has like his partner is an orc.
Well, that new one, The Gorge, looks like it's going to be pretty good too, and they've got Anya Taylor-Joy, or what's Anya Taylor?
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, I need to see that, but that's in like an Apple TV original. You can rent it on Prime, I think, as well, or maybe included in Prime by now. But yeah, that was another one that was made for streaming that could probably be a theatrical release. It's on my list of shit to sit down and watch when I have time.
That is very true. I want to see that one. That one looks pretty good.
And the new season of Reacher started. I haven't had a chance to start it yet.
Oh yeah, I didn't know it started back up yet. And we're finally going to have Stranger Things, the fucking last season of Stranger Things. I'm going to fucking kill
speaking of Stranger Things, I think it's on our list of future show topics. This upcoming month, there's a movie with Chris Pratt and, speaking of big Netflix movies, Chris Pratt and...
Finn Wolfhard?
No, Millie Bobby Brown.
Hell yeah.
Called The Electric State. It's about, like, robots and stuff.
I don't think I've seen that one either, but I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, the trailer for it looks
I like
pretty
her.
impressive. So
I like her.
So yeah, you got Chris Pratt and her doing an original movie for Netflix too. So yeah, Netflix is
she just
coming
married
out with some
somebody
big shit.
Super famous too, and I don't remember.
That's Bon Jovi's kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, my
She's
favorite.
a Jovi
yeah.
now.
I want to be a Jovi. I want to be a Jovi.
Grandpa
I
Jovi.
Don't care. Don't care. Snoop Dogg's a grandpa too, but I'd want to hang out with him too. And him and Millie Bobby Brown are friends.
So out of these two movies, which one?
Or not Millie Bobby Brown.
Which one was your favorite?
I mean, if we're just going for something funny and like chill, then yeah, Love Hurts is good. I like Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx playing off of each other a lot more than I thought I would. It was hilarious, and I like Glenn Close and all. I have to say, Back in Action was better as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, Love Hurts was fun because we, basically my entire
martial arts
instructor team, like, hey, this looks like a good martial arts movie. Let's all go check this out.
And then we had the two or three younger kids that were with us. One of the instructor's kids, and then the other two younger kids, and then you start hearing this movie and fucking and blowing people up and heads coming off, and the mom is sitting there with them.
It was a lot more.
I'm like, oh shit.
Violent, probably. We
this
thought it was.
Maybe was not the best thing for a mixed group.
And for some reason, all the trailers were for horror movies.
Oh yeah,
everyone. And it was why is this is not a horror movie? Why is every single trailer before this movie about an upcoming horror film? It did not make
sense. Except for
sense.
Thunderbolts. That was the only one that wasn't. And then that one about the dude that couldn't feel pain. I don't remember what that one's called. But
Novocaine.
Novocaine, there you go.
I kind of want to see that one too.
Yeah, there was a lot that's coming out that I want to see.
Well, as we kind of wrap this up,
Brad can stay lost for a while. There's a lot of stuff coming out I want to see that I can.
This H. Upman, it's good. It's definitely on the medium plus size. It's got enough strength to keep you entertained. It's
that is so weird the way you said that. What? Got enough strength to keep you entertained?
Yeah, because I like a strong cigar.
That's true.
But I don't mind lighter cigars if they have a lot of flavor. And this one, not super strong, but it does have a lot of flavor. Kind of earthy, woody, a little bit of peppery. Because I do like a spicy cigar. So yeah. Definitely check out the
spicy everything. I'm
H.
spicy.
Upmans. They haven't missed everything I've tried of theirs. I've liked the Banker and the was it H. Upman Nicaragua. I think is another one that's I've had that is good. Mm-hmm. How is your Lady with No Name or?
I love these. These are my new favorite. I was digging acids for a long time, but this has definitely become my new favorite.
Yeah, that was actually the
Deadwood.
Drew Estate's. Was it?
I think it's called Deadwood, isn't it?
No, I'm talking about the Freestyle Live.
Oh yeah.
So every year, and they've got a new box out. I've not tried it yet. They release a 4-pack of unbranded cigars that you don't know what it is, so you can try it. And usually the packages comes with when I bought this, it came with like a lighter and an ashtray. The new one comes with a travel humidor and a lighter, and you get 4 unreleased cigars to try, and then they do a live stream event where they finally like break down like, hey, this is what you were smoking, and here's the blend and all the information. They'll usually like basically have a raffle during the thing that you get. If you bought one of the packs, you're entered to win something or another. I've not tried this year's yet, but yeah, that was the one from last year, and it was good cigar, but way too sweet for me.
Yeah.
But it ended up being
But I like
the
sweet.
girl with no name cigar.
Yeah, these have become my new favorite, and I used to be absolutely just stuck on acids, but this has become my new
Yeah, I
favorite.
haven't tried the new one, but based on the wrapper, it looks like it's pretty light. But I have not tried it yet, so I don't know what the new cigar tastes like.
Well,
but-
not everybody has the constitution that you do, dear. I mean, not everybody can smoke black as tar cigars.
It's like working out. If it doesn't hurt a little, you're not doing it right.
Oh my god.
No pain, no gain.
Nope.
I like strong whiskey and strong cigars.
And strong coffee and no cream. It's like it's gonna have cream because I like myself.
No, I put a little cream in mine. You put all
Hot
the cream
water
in
and
yours.
hate. It's not all the cream.
You
It's
drink
still
milkshakes with coffee.
I do not. I do not. It's the same brand of coffee as you. It's just a little lighter.
Oh. Also, coming up, we are going to be in Kentucky for the Bourbon
nice.
City
Can't wait for
Steampunk.
that.
So if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area and want to have a cigar, hit us up. We'll be up there the
13th, 14th, and 15th.
yeah, something like that.
March?
Mid-March. So I mean, I think we got at least one more episode before then. But yeah, we'll be there sampling some whiskey and smoking some cigars and doing some steampunkery. So if you're in the area or if you're a listener and you happen to be coming to the con, reach out. We'll party with you.
Fuckery here, there, and everywhere. I'm sure there's a cigar lounge up there somewhere. I'm sure we'll find one up there somewhere to visit.
Oh yeah. But with that, that's all we got for you this episode. If you're watching on the YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be right back
All the
with
buttons.
some science.